I guess I'm the one person on the panel that's sort of CFO in my current role. So what I wanted to talk about is why I think responsible business makes good sense, and particularly some of the journey of what we've learned in McDonald's. I think it's fair to say we've seen a real turnaround in our business performance over the last 5 to 6 years. And that, the great catalyst for that was the fact that 6 years ago, to be honest, we weren't in a great place. We weren't growing the business. We were losing customer numbers. And to be honest, whilst we thought we were in touch with the customer at the time, I don't think you would ever, at any stage in time, think you've lost it. Looking back, we had lost touch with our customer base, and we had lost their trust. And that was working its way through into our business results. We were not giving customers what they wanted. And so that was a great catalyst for us to change. The first thing we had to do was listen more closely to our customers to understand what they wanted from us. And we learnt what mattered to them and what we needed to change to respond to them. And looking back at the business 6 or 7 years ago, hearing the truth wasn't always easy. We had some significant investment decisions to make, but it has really proven the sort of foundation of our success over the last 5 to 6 years ago. Most importantly, for a food business, what our customers wanted to know is, where's the food come from when you eat at McDonald's? We had been supporting British agriculture for a number of years, so all of our beef, all of our pork, milk, eggs, most of our potatoes were sourced locally. And we have had for a number of years a supply chain of 17,000 farmers, British and Irish farmers, supplying us with these products. But when we started talking about this to our customers, the position we were in was they were so skeptical about us. But when we said it's 100% beef, it's all from Britain and Ireland, they said, well, that's fine, but what else do you add? To make it into burgers, what else do you add? So we went on sort of TV and we did a campaign that we call The Big Nothing, which was basically to say, look, it is beef, we add a bit of salt and pepper, and nothing else is added. And that was one of those key moments for us that our customers found it incredibly reassuring, and it helped us, I think, as to how we should think about the business and the moves that we should make. We also realized that customers wanted more sustainable food, and they wanted us to show leadership in making responsible decisions. I think that point about the leadership and how can you scale responsible decisions has been a real sort of key part of what we've learnt. So we added a lot more ethically sourced food to our menu, one of which has been very successful was Rainforest Alliance coffee. We went to organic milk, free-range eggs, which we've now been doing for a number of years. And what we've really seen and learnt is when we make these responsible moves as a business, and even for the position that McDonald's was in 6 or 7 years ago, customers do respond. They do sit up and take notice, and they do vote with their feet. So I think we've learnt that earning our customers' trust is vital to the health of our business. And therefore, a lot of what's, I guess, educated and conditioned me over time is how running a business responsibly can make a lot of financial sense. Like Richard, we have a number of franchisees, and I would completely agree, nothing keeps you more honest to the bottom line and the business cases and how you invest in a business than being a franchisee business. So we have 160 franchisees in the UK. So for every move we make, effectively I'm responsible to them for the business case, for how I'm investing their funds. And that really does keep you close to the decisions that you're making. And so when we're investing, I'm investing on behalf of franchisees, and so we need to know that customers will respond. We need to know that there is a business case. As CFO, it won't surprise you to hear me say it's also the economics that drives change and being commercial. And some of the changes that I've prioritized in my role over the last 4 years have been because they make financial sense as well as being responsible. I have responsibility for supply chain across the UK and Northern Europe, and I've had a clear mantra to our business over the last 3 to 4 years, which is, yes, we want to cut costs, but we want to cut costs as far away from the customer as possible and in a way that can be responsible. To help us do this, and I think this is a real foundation, and Stephen touched on it earlier, I think it comes down to how we run our supply chain. So we run our supply chain with long-term relationships with our suppliers, many of whom have supplied us for over 30 years. And for most of our food suppliers, we don't even have a contract. And so the relationship truly is built on trust. And it helps us work closely with suppliers. And I honestly believe that means that they're more willing to innovate and to invest to drive positive change and scalable positive change, which I think is one of the themes that's been coming out so far. I think fairly uniquely, a few years ago, one of the things I asked the 8 leaders of our largest food suppliers was to form a group to meet together and what decisions and moves can you make by working together that if you couldn't do if you were working separately. So we have true collaboration from the leaders of our 8 largest suppliers. And the areas that they tend to work on, or predominantly work on, are 2 key areas. One is how can we improve our environmental footprint, and how can we reduce costs? And over time, we've achieved great results. We've taken millions of miles off of our logistics network. We've reduced carbon emissions tremendously. And it is a journey. It is an ongoing progress that we're looking to make. The one other example I'd look to give is because of our commitment, but non-contractual commitment to our distribution company, we did a few years ago make the move to recycle all of our used cooking oil into biodiesel. So our oil is used twice, firstly to cook some food in the restaurants, then our distribution supplier backhauls it, converts it into biodiesel. So we take 8 million litres of cooking oil over the last 3 years, and instead of it being a waste stream, we have scaled all of it that it is now fuel to utilise in our fleet. It makes a lot of financial sense from a cost certainty and hedging perspective, but it turns waste streams into economic value and into doing some good. So for me, I guess I'd summarise by saying the turnaround in McDonald's, I think that being responsible, if it's the way that you know is commercial and that your customers will respond to, can and does make a lot of financial sense.